Hello, and welcome to Losers Watch Love is
Blind. Oh.
Hi, I'm Brandon,
No, I'm Crista.
and we're going to talk about Love is Blind UK Season 2, second batch, episodes 5 through 8.
You embarrassed me.
Why did I embarrass you?
Because you didn't also say blind.
No, it's your line.
It's
Yeah.
usually our line.
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
Sorry, I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3.
Blind. Yay. All right.
Now do we restart
No.
the whole thing?
No. Back
No.
to business.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
No, back to business.
So in episode 5, we start off on vacation still.
Yay. Yay.
What couple do you want to talk about?
I don't
And
care.
our thoughts the whole time.
No, I don't care. Whichever one you want to start with.
Barta and Jed, let's do them. They're boring.
They're all boring. This season is boring.
They're not. No.
The most
We have drama.
only from one couple.
We have
Two technically, but like not really.
3. We have 3 because 2 couples are involved in that one thing.
Yeah, but like not really. Like yes and no.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
okay, Barta and Jed. They have a great time on vacation. They're great people. I like them together. Yes. That was their whole story.
Barta is a strong, independent woman, and Jed is not used to that. So that comes up in their...
They're fake arguments, yes.
Yes, sure. Where she is willing to, like, purchase everything on her own and not be taken care of.
Yeah, and he wants to take care of, but at the same time, he's also...
Learning to accept her for who she is.
Yes, like he's going to adapt. I don't think he's like this stronghold asshole that's just not going to adapt to that.
I also hope that. My worry is that that would be the thing that separates them. If there is going to be drama, it seems like it would be that because that's what like the show is pushing, but it doesn't seem like it's actually an issue other than it coming up a few times. Like,
well, I think they're pushing that angle because there's nothing else wrong with them.
Yeah, I feel like production is just like, and how do you feel about how independent she is, like repeatedly?
Yeah. But she's so skinny now in real life. And such a different, she's a new woman.
She looks fine on the show too.
I know. I don't know why she felt like she needed a glow up. Because I don't think she needed one.
Do we meet we meet their parents. Mm-hmm. Barta's mom just got out of surgery in episode 6.
Yeah.
So we don't meet her, right?
No.
That would be ridiculous. What do you think this is? The United States and our healthcare system?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
We do meet Barta's friend Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia is concerned.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Like you should be. I feel like the people who aren't concerned at all are concerning.
Or,
like this is a weird experiment. Like I think it should take time for you to grow to like this person.
I wrote it down, not about this person, but another person's parent is like aware of the situation. So like they are less concerned.
Yes.
So it seems like you only really get concerned if like
you're blindsided.
Yeah.
Which most people are for some reason.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you just fucking tell your friends and family that you're doing this beforehand?
Because if you don't find love, you're embarrassed.
I guess. But like, you're so like.
It's silly.
If I were to go on this, I would still be gone for 2 weeks, like to film even that first batch, right? So like.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I'm going to tell some people, I don't know.
But I do understand having concern. You don't know this person.
Yeah. Weird. For sure. For sure.
So nothing else exciting happens with them. They have a couple conversations. Like their relationship goes pretty smoothly the whole time.
Yeah. They do. Yeah, I really have nothing for them. They see his apartment near the end of episode 8.
I think it's his house.
Yeah.
I think he owns that house, so he brings her there because...
That's where they're going to move into.
Yes, so he's excited to show her it, and it's very, like, plain. Everything's white. There's nothing else. There's nothing in the house. They show us an empty shelf.
It's white and empty, which is my favorite.
Yeah. And she just says, we just need a feminine touch.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure she'll bring.
And then Jed's mom and dad come over. And Jed's mom is doubtful over the situation. But again... As a reasonable person, yes.
Yeah.
But like nothing, it's nothing like Sarah Over's mom.
Yeah, like it's nothing against Barta. It's just this is a fucked up thing to do, and it's stressful when your child is going to marry a stranger. Like I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm on their side because I do understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there they are.
And there they are. Episodes 5 through 8 of Barda and Jed took 2 minutes. Pew, pew, pew.
So then Sarah over and Cal.
Yeah, let's go to them. That's a good one.
They also are quite boring aside from her mother being stressful. Like her mom is texting her a bunch before she meets Cal, and she's like, we don't know what they're saying, obviously, but she's like basically being berated by her mother, and like she's nervous now for her to meet Cal because she seems so like unhappy with the situation, essentially.
Yeah.
And she's an Indian mother. So an Indian wedding is a much bigger deal than anyone else getting married. So on top of the fact that her mom doesn't know him and all this other stuff, like she's also an Indian mother being like, we need to invite 500 people to this wedding. This is how our weddings are done and all of that on top of everything. So I think that's what's stressful for her on top, like as well.
Yeah. Something this season did that like hasn't really been shown a lot in previous seasons is that Katisha and Sarover hang out and talk, just like the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know if it's a real friendship, but like the quote unquote friendships between couples, like you don't really see that during the season. You see it at like the group hangouts, but you don't see it like
Throughout the show.
yeah.
But that's because they needed to talk because Katisha wanted, I think, because Sarover was talking about Demola and Cal being so
Oh yeah.
into Demola. That's why they met. They met to talk about that. And it's the same reason why we saw Katisha and Meg meet later, right? So I feel like we're only seeing the conversations that they want us to see that are important to the storyline in a way to like bring more drama.
Okay.
Because I agree, we've never seen it really before. But both conversations that we saw that were, or all three, or whatever, however many we're going to count it as, they all mattered to the storyline of Katisha.
Well, like, yeah, okay, true. Because then the other like friendship that we see is Javan and Jed hang out, and Jed is asking Javan how he's doing and stuff.
Yes.
About Katisha almost making Demola.
Yes, because it's about the Demola thing again.
Yeah.
So we really had to play that up because the switch up was so quick that the cast and everyone else can't understand. So
Or production is making it that.
Maybe, but like that's why we're seeing it all.
I'm very skeptical. Everything is fake.
Yeah, I don't know why we even watch these shows.
But Sarah over and talks to Katisha about meeting Cal's family and vice versa. So it's not just about Katisha.
No, but that's the only reason they initially would show us the conversation.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
But other than that, I think the biggest drama that we had for Cal and Sarover was her mother. And then they meet her mother.
Well, before that, though, we meet Cal's mom and grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And they're white. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Because he's half Pakistani and half white.
Yeah.
So, like, they have no issues.
No issues at all. They love her.
Yeah, they are.
They love them together. They love her. It's great. Grand.
Yep.
So, but then we see her mother, and that's the stressful part for everyone. And the way that we edited it was so that it looked, well, I don't know if it was edited this way. Cal's kind of awkward, so I could see it either way. But they made it seem very awkward, and the mom looked very angry at the beginning, which I also think she probably was. I think she was trying to be more, like, serious, stern, like, what are your intentions and whatnot. But they made him seem like he just fumbled a lot in his speaking, and no one said a word. Everyone just quietly sat there and stared at him, and it was so awkward.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to believe that that was an honest representation of it because of just how many cuts that they did back and forth. And, like, maybe he did say stupid things like, what's unique about my daughter? Her accent? Like...
Well, he definitely did say that.
Yes,
he might have said more, but he said some dumb shit.
Yeah, he definitely said some dumb shit, but it probably wasn't as bad as the show is making it. The show is making it look real bad. And
yes.
And if you watch it, there are a bunch of, like, cut left, cut right, cut left, cut right to see, because, like, then that way you can ADR it, you know?
Yes, but at the same time, that still doesn't change that the mother's face looked so unimpressed at the beginning by some of the stuff he was saying. And I believe she probably was. But I think once he got back, like, once they talked more and they spent more time together, I think I don't think it was like she went in there and she wasn't open to meeting him and seeing them together and stuff. I just think at the beginning she was like, "What? What am I looking at here?" You know?
Yeah.
But I think they turned around very well for him, and he sounded great, and they had good conversation, and she really liked him.
This conversation went on so long, we saw it in different parts,
Yeah.
which was to make it more dramatic. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
But in the end, she said she gave them her blessing, and she said that she's excited and really likes him, and
Yeah,
yeah,
his confidence definitely, like, came back in the second meetup, like, not second meetup,
second
but the second time we came back to it.
yeah,
Um, but it still seemed like a lot of editing. He might have been that confident from before too. I don't know.
maybe. I don't it's hard.
It sure is.
Either way, she ended up liking him and accepting it, and that's great for them.
Yeah.
'Cause that was the biggest worry. So now they're just gonna have the stress of planning this wedding because her mother will definitely be involved, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, like, I feel like we're gonna have if they get married, it'll be like a Netflix wedding, and then I feel like they'll do a
oh, definitely.
big old Indian wedding.
Yeah, for sure, as they should.
Yeah. We get them going to dinner and Cal saying that he has never lived with a girl before.
Yep,
So there's a big conversation about that, and he thought it would be he was worried about it, and then
he's not.
he's not. It's working out well.
Yeah, he says that he has no issues. He thought that was gonna be the most stressful part of this whole thing, but they just work really well together, and their personalities just click well, and their, like, routine has just built in with each other, which is great for both of them.
From what we've seen, like, I feel like there's a lot of things that we haven't seen, a lot of, like, boring stuff of, like, how is their work schedules going and, like, the things that they do.
Well, yeah, but
But
he said that it's been very smooth between the 2 of them. I mean, it depending what their schedules are, like, it probably isn't that hard to like, he owns a gym.
partially onto Jim.
He partially owns a gym, but, like, with partially owning a gym, you probably don't need to be there all the time, and you get to pick what you're working, right? Like, you probably can work from home for some stuff when you're owning something.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they found a way to make that work well for them.
Mhm.
Billy and Ashley?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, where did you wanna go?
No, that one makes sense.
I don't know. I really like Billy and Ashley. They make sense. They're making one part of it be dramatic, and the rest of it has gone well. They met,
Not one. They've had a few issues, but, like,
but there's the biggest one is her job.
the biggest one is their job, and then the other storyline that we're getting is that, like, he is, like, the food in the house, which could be one of those things that, like, isn't gonna be a big deal, but, like, remember the last season how, like, we had a really good, strong couple, and then they, like, broke up almost immediately?
Yeah, but they talked about that food thing. They made it very dramatic at the beginning where he's very, like, disciplined in his eating because he needs to be and whatever. And then she was like, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna do that." But then they had a conversation about it together and, like, resolved it.
I don't I don't I don't necessarily wanna say they resolved it.
They resolved the, like, tension from it because she spoke to him about it again.
So they had an argument in the grocery store about the eating, which I thought was very awkward in the grocery store and seemed very weird from him. But you're right, they did discuss it afterwards. I'm just thinking that this might be a festering pet peeve that will work its way into the actual marriage.
I feel like you can eat different things, though,
I agree.
and, like, that's a pretty easy solution. I feel like the bigger issue that was, like, a 2-minute issue. The biggest issue is the fact that he can't get past her job.
Yes. I'm just trying to say that there is another
I get
plot that they're trying to force, and I also don't think it's a big deal. He seems to make it seem like a big deal, and the show wants it to be a big deal.
I think the job thing is the big deal.
The job thing is the big deal. It would just be very boring of a plot line if that's the only thing that they talked about was your job is shitty.
Yeah, but I think that's what's gonna actually break them up.
For sure.
So that's more of an issue because I think that's silly to, like, lose a person that you're connecting so well with and you work so well with
Mhm.
because of their job. Because you can't just get over the fact that she leaves for 2 days at a time?
Well, like, you don't know how long she's actually gone.
I don't know. It just seems like garbage to me.
We kind of skipped over in the timeline, but we had drama about meeting her dad.
Was it drama?
No, I don't think so. It was a episode 5 ends on a cliffhanger of the dad meeting him and being like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Yes, but we knew that it wasn't going to be an issue.
Have we seen the show too much
Yes.
to know?
They are all the same because they edit it the same way every time.
But it's a slightly different company.
Sure.
It's a different production company.
Sure. But there's a narrative that we have to sell.
Do we though?
Well, apparently. And then that's really all that happens with Billy and Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even at like their group hang, nothing dramatic happened with any of the couples we've talked about so far.
Correct. We meet Billy's dad
Mhm.
separately, and then we meet his mom and sister.
Yes.
Like all separately or whatever, and things go well.
Clearly divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everything seems very Gucci with them until the last episode when he
They go they go on a nice date.
well, he talks to his mom or he talks to his sister about it, about how he's having a hard time getting past the cabin crew and he's not sure if he can say yes to marrying her because of it.
Yeah.
And then they go on a cute date and then he brings it up or she brings it up.
They do a check-in.
Yes, so she wants to check in.
Yeah, she wants to check in and know, like, what are we doing? Like,
What's your thought process? We're 2 weeks away still and we have more experience to do, but where are you sitting right now? And he says that he's really not sure. He's 50-50. And then she's like, I'm actually very surprised by that.
yeah,
And gets like upset, which is valid.
she is devastated because she's all in.
Yeah. And she was like, if I was being asked right now, it would be a yes. And it's like scary that you aren't there. And that's really where we leave it with them.
Yeah, her crying on top of a cliff
Yeah. But they're hugging.
and falling to their doom. No, I hope they're alive and well.
So then we have Katisha and Javin.
Do we want them?
Yes.
Not Kieran?
No, I think Katisha and Javin.
Kieran's boring, though.
Yeah, but Katisha and Javin first.
Okay, we'll do Katisha and Javin.
So as we've already talked about, she has a couple conversations with other people about how he about Duola.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I would have picked him if I wanted to pick him. And everything's great with this guy, except he's a piece of garbage. A hot, steaming pile of garbage.
Yeah, their first conversation that we like get to see when they're moved in is talking about all the couples being confused about Katisha jumping from the mullet to Javin.
Yeah.
And Javin is like kind of insecure. They're pushing the story that he's insecure about it or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think he really is.
No, I don't think he cares about anything.
Sure.
I don't think he actually like it's not that I don't think he cares about her at all, but I don't think he gives a shit. I think he just wanted to be on the show.
Yeah. He's definitely the person I think is here the most for clout and chasing or whatever. Okay, so we go to a dinner that they have, and then they talk about Katisha meeting up with Damola, and then we cut to Katisha meeting Damola, and then they like explain the situation.
She explains why she didn't pick him.
Yeah. Sorry. The situation. Yeah.
Simple conversation.
Yeah, because there's like almost nothing. Is there a group hangout in it?
There is a group hangout, and he talks to Sophie, and we were confused because we didn't even know he was really talking to Sophie. But he talks to Sophie a lot.
Yeah, when is this hangout?
It's near the end of the episodes.
It's in episode 7.
It's because nobody else had anything super exciting. Like, the only people would have been Kieran and Javin both talking to Sophie.
Yeah, okay, so we're doing the group part. We're talking about that. So, Sophie talks to Kieran. They meet for the first time that they've ever met.
Yeah.
And then Sophie is, I would say, bitter.
Yeah.
Mad about not being on the show, calls Kieran not her type and ugly.
Yep.
And then she flirts with Javin.
Yes. And I didn't know that they talked in the pods. So I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they had such a connection because it was very clear that they both were very in that connection when they were having those conversations.
Mhm.
So that happens, and then he tells Katisha not to worry about it. And they go back to the hotel or their apartment or whatever. And Katisha's like, you can tell she's upset.
Yeah, they're, like, in a kind of not a fight, but, like, she's
Like,
upset.
she's upset. And he just is like, okay. And she's like, I think I'm going to go to bed. Like, I just don't feel great. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go out. And she was like, okay. And then she just goes to bed and he goes out and she looks upset again. And then he goes to like the bar with all these people.
Yeah, it seemed almost like he was just going like, he was getting his friends and going out. Like, that was the part of the
Like a
conversation.
vibe, yeah.
That, like, he said, like, "Meet up with the friends," and then he called someone,
Yeah, he called one of the guys, one of the pod people.
Demola or Patrick.
Yeah, he called one of them. And like I don't care that you're going out. I just think it's crazy that she's visibly upset and you
Didn't
didn't even acknowledge it.
but, okay, I
But he didn't acknowledge it, and we know he didn't because the conversation that they have the next morning, she says, "Did you even notice I was upset last night?" Because I was, and he says, "No."
yeah. So, I half of me is like, "You're a piece of crap for not knowing that," and then the other half of me is like, "You've only known her for, like, a week." So, like, maybe he legitimately didn't understand her cues, and she should have been more forthcoming with it,
But
which she does admit to in the morning.
but I don't know her, and I could tell she was upset before she even made it to the bedroom.
The show told you that, though, because
You
it
could
showed
see it on her face, though, that she was upset.
I
And the fact that it's like 8 p.m. and she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go to bed." Like, it was very clear that something was wrong.
okay, I'm 60/40.
You're just a man, and you probably wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, maybe it's
Yeah.
a man problem thing.
Well, maybe he's just a douchebag.
Maybe he
But
is,
he didn't even say, like, "How did you think, like, tonight went?" Or, like, normal couples after.
but we don't know that because we don't know what conversations we're actually seeing and which ones we're not to push a narrative.
But I
The
feel like if he had asked if he had asked that, I feel like she would have said something
maybe
along being upset.
maybe.
Like, and it also bothers me in the morning, whatever part of the conversation we see where she says that she's upset because of him going out. I'm like, but you were upset already.
Yeah, but, like, she could have been upset because he wanted to go out instead of, like, having this conversation with
Maybe.
her.
She's too much of a pushover for him.
Yeah.
He needs to be put in his place to make something work, or he's gonna do this shit forever.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't need, he needs a strong, independent woman who's gonna tell him to fuck off when he needs to be told to fuck off, you know?
Mhm.
He needs somebody like that. Katisha's not it. Katisha's too, like, indrawn in herself, and she's too, like, I think, like, self-conscious, I guess, in a way. Like, I think her personality is. I don't know. They don't make sense.
But
Anyways,
like, he's not gonna go for that type.
no,
That
because he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
I understand. I just hate him. And I just feel for her because her experience with Damola would have been such a different experience. Even when we met her parents.
Which is the next day.
Yes. So when they met her parents, so she was also upset that he went out because she was like, I don't want you to be hungover with my parents. And he was like, do you think I'm that stupid? And she's like, well, I don't know you. So, like, I don't know what you're like hungover. I don't know these things. So, yes, I was worried about it.
Yeah.
So they meet his parents. And when we were watching it, all I was thinking was it would have been such a different experience with Damola because I don't think her parents liked him.
Javin.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Like, they just didn't seem very, like, some of the stuff he said was weird. He's weird. And it's not like he's, like, charming. Like, that's my thing is you're not a charming human being where you can get away with being a piece of shit because you're, like, you charm people in a different way so they kind of, like, look past it. I don't think he's like that.
So they meet up with Katisha's mom and siblings at this trampoline park.
Her 800 kid siblings.
And like, I think the charming part is probably not shown because, like, we see.
The charming part is him with the kids.
Yes, we see him hanging out with the kids.
Yes.
And being super chill about, like, the situation. And then, like, Katisha and mom talk, and Javin's, like, playing with all the kids or
Yeah.
whatever. So, like, I don't know if he is or is not a charming fella.
I just think when he was speaking, he didn't sound like he's a charming person. I think that he's great with kids because I don't think he cares about much. Like, he's very chill in general. He has a chill personality. So for him, like, something like that's great for him because he can go hang out with kids while she talks to her mom and he doesn't have to be involved anymore in the conversation.
Right.
Like, I just didn't like, I don't like the way he speaks.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything he says sounds offensive to me. Like, I just don't, and I don't know if it's just because I don't like him and now I've seen the rest of it. Like, I just think he's a piece of shit.
Yeah. I am more on your side than not.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about what happened at the party now with Megan and Kieran.
Yeah, so Megan talks to
Megan and
Keisha.
Hold on. Megan and Kieran were also at the hangout that Jovan went to after Katisha went to bed.
Mhm.
So we're setting that up. And then they're all at a bar. And then what did Jovan do according to Megan and Kieran?
Why are you saying it this way, though?
So
Because they don't talk about it, though, really. She just says she doesn't like the way he moved last night. Yeah. And she doesn't understand why he was talking to Sophie so much. And, like, that's all she really says to Kieran. Like, they don't talk about it as much in detail. We don't hear all that until she talks to Katisha.
Oh,
He just says that she says, I need to tell her because I need to as a human being. And he says, I don't want to get my friend in trouble because Javin's his friend. And he says, but you wouldn't be a good friend if you don't tell her. So you should. So that is the conversation they have together.
Okay, sure. You're right. Okay, so after Katisha and Javan meet Katisha's mom and family, they're back at the apartment separate.
And Megan and Katisha get together to talk.
Yeah.
And Megan tells Katisha that he spent all night with Sophie, talking to Yolanda, and talking to Anu.
Yes.
And she says that at some point, him and Sophie went into a photo booth and started talking. And, like, nobody could see them. So why were you in there? Because and then she was like, well, were they getting photos? And she said, I saw no photos taken. So, and as we know from her conversation later, the photo booth was off. So there was no reason for him to be in that photo booth. And then she also says that she had a conversation with him after and was like, why are you talking to all these girls or whatever? And he just said, well, Yolanda makes me happy. And Anu makes me happy. And Katisha makes me happy. And that's fucking weird. Like, so why did you say that?
That was between Megan and Jovan at the night out.
Like, there was just so many sketch things. So then Katisha obviously is upset because what the fuck? Why would you do any of that? And why would you say other people make you happy in a mix of you too? Like, that's not okay. So then obviously she gets upset and she ends up confronting him after talking to Megan.
No, she goes to pack up her shit.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And he says, what are you doing?
And then he comes home and is like, what are you doing? And then what I thought was the most infuriating thing is he didn't take out his earbud.
Why'd you call it an earbud? It's an AirPod.
Oh.
It's an AirPod.
He didn't take out his golden retriever playing basketball from his ear.
Tell me you're in your 30s without telling me you're in your 30s.
His AirPod stays in his ear during this conversation. Drives me nuts. I hate the youth. Yeah. Continue.
He's a dick. And no surprise because he is a dick. So it's fine. So then when he asks her what she's doing, she says, well, what happened last night? Because in the morning, they were talking about him being hungover, they did have a conversation about what happened the night before. And he said, oh, I chatted and I was hanging with the boys and I saw Sophie there. And, like, he did say all that, but he didn't say how much time he spent with them and whatever.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, to each person's discretion of what happened, because this is a he said, she said situation.
Yeah. It's Megan says one thing and Javan is saying another thing. So, like, I was with the boys, Patrick and Demola. Like, I was actually with them the whole night. They were right beside me, blah, blah, blah.
Yes. And he was like, you can ask anyone about it and blah. And I don't like that he also said to Katisha, he said, well, Megan's lying. What the fuck does she have to gain from lying about this? Like, she could have just said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like she's sitting there out to get you. I don't think she actually cares about you. I think that she likes Katisha and sees something that isn't okay and wants to tell her. Like, why would she lie about it?
Yeah, like, unless she wants to be, like, known for being, like, making up
Like, being a villain?
making shit up and then causing drama, which I from everything I've seen, I don't think Megan does.
Yes.
I think, like,
If it was a different personality, I could see that. Like, if this was Madison, 100%, I could see her making shit up just to cause drama.
Sophie.
Sophie would too, yeah.
Yeah.
But Megan just doesn't come off as that person. You can tell that she just wants to be here and be with Kieran. Like, that's all she cares about here. So it's very odd to me that you would just straight up just go to, well, she's a liar.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, you're a gaslighter. So I don't want to listen to you talk.
Don't necessarily know if he's a gaslighter, but I get where you're coming from.
I feel like he has that personality.
Yes, he's trying to argue his way out of it.
Yeah.
And trying to be like, "No, I wasn't with them all night.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to them, yes, but I wasn't with them all night." It's that, like, half-truth technicality.
It's
I
bullshit.
Yeah.
And in my brain, like, you got caught. So at this point, just own up to it. Like, I don't understand what you think is going to happen from it being in this situation in general. So anyway, she ends up leaving because get fucked. Like, I also don't want to do this with you anymore and I don't want to be with you. So I'm going to leave.
Yeah. Good for Katisha. Also, something I said during this argument while watching was that even if Megan is lying, like, the thing Megan is saying rings truthful enough that Katisha's like, "Nope, I'm out." Like,
Yeah.
Javan, you clearly give off that vibe at the very least that, like,
That she's trusting her own gut to just leave because it doesn't feel right.
yeah,
Yes.
with, like, the slightest bit of information from Megan, she's just like, "Yep, my gut is right. I gotta leave." Like, totally, it's on you, Javan.
Well,
Like,
and
it's
part of it's probably, like, in the beginning, she wasn't even sure about him at all because he's very, like, he doesn't share a lot about himself,
yeah, he never did in the pods.
and he still doesn't really in this time frame.
Did we meet Javan's family?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
like,
didn't even share that.
that's what I mean. Like, I just feel like it makes sense to me because in her head, she's probably like, okay, so all the red flags I had at the beginning that he, like, convinced me I didn't have are now showing up again. So see you later.
Yeah, and Katisha, like, I'm pretty sure she talked about how, like, Javan is, like, the bad boy, or, like, she's got a history of bad boys, which is why, like, it didn't work out with Damola because, like,
He's too nice.
he's too nice and nice guys finish last.
But
Damola admits it.
so it's good for her because she should leave. Like, he's a piece of shit. So
Yeah.
I'm glad she decided to leave. But
Fair.
then Javin, because he's just so cool, he's like, I'm going to call somebody to talk about this.
Hold on. Before that, though, she wrote a note. Like, she finished packing up, wrote a note, left it, and then left. And then he comes in, gets that note, and then he reads it and then rips it up and throws it out.
And smiles while he's doing it.
Yeah, he's
But you're a serial killer. Like, why are you smiling? And then how did we let this motherfucker continue the show? That is the part that gets me. Because then the next day,
drama.
he
That's why.
calls Patrick and he's like, oh, this is what happened. And this is what Megan said. And he's like, well, but we were hanging out. I don't doubt you were hanging out. Like, that's not in my brain. Like, yes, I'm sure he also talked to you.
I'm also suspicious of this because I feel like this was staged.
Oh, yeah, Patrick. I think Patrick's also a piece of shit.
Because Javan could, yeah, Patrick, we'll talk about Patrick next, actually. But, like, Javan could have texted Patrick this, or went to the washroom and called him or whatever and set this up so that the cameras get a recording of Patrick on the phone saying, "Bro, you were with me all night. This is her loss."
Yeah.
Because
her loss. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy that anybody could say that.
Notice how he called Patrick and not Damola. Like, who he was also with all night, apparently.
Because
Like,
Damola's too nice.
Because, yeah,
Damola's not going to lie.
Yeah, Damola would be like, yeah, I talked to you, but, like,
Yeah.
God, I feel like Damola would tell the truth. And Patrick is,
Patrick.
yeah, we already know he's not a great guy with a baby on the way during filming.
Yeah. And his spleen. His spleen just leading him in the direction of Javin as a best friend.
No, Patrick was entirely there just to promote himself and his business, or whatever. And his different thing is his spleen. Like, 100% he was just there to get enough clout or be well known enough to, like, people be interested in him.
Hey, but at least he wasn't a full piece of shit and he didn't propose to someone.
True.
Like, I'll give him that.
Before I'm just going into Patrick now.
Okay.
So Patrick was also at the big mixer party that had all of the pod squad, and then him and Anu have like this weird fight. And I don't like Patrick. I don't like Anu in this situation, but like it is a weirdly cut fight without context. And then it like cuts around to them like conversing for their first time, and then cuts around to like her yelling at him and then making fun of his bandana. It was very strange, and it seems like we missed a lot of context, and I don't love how that was portrayed on for either of them. But Patrick was there to be friends with Jovan.
Well, they were all there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, no surprise those two are friends. So then Javin wants to clear his name because he's a douchebag, and he wants to talk to Megan and Kieran together so that he can understand why Katisha left.
Which is the dumbest thing, because like no one involved, like no matter what you do right now in this, the three of you, like
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Katisha's not there. Like
It doesn't matter. You did something wrong. You're done.
but like even if you didn't do anything wrong and you want to
Yes.
if it was actually roles reversed and the malicious one was Megan, it is not.
And the only reason I would say it's not too is because we watched him talk to Sophie at that party.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it was so much flirtier than it should have been.
For sure. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying though is that even if he was innocent, like legitimately innocent and didn't do anything wrong, you're arguing with two people that aren't in your relationship. You're not proving anything to Katisha. Like, what is this for?
But because he doesn't care about Katisha. He said he cares about his name being dragged.
That's what like point I was trying to say.
Crazy. So, and also this is what I mean. Who let this man continue to be on TV and ruin Megan's day?
Because it's drama.
I hate it. I feel bad for Megan.
Yeah.
Because her and Kieran, up until this point, have been doing great.
Mm.
There has not been a single fight with Kieran and Meg at all. Even at the group hangout, he talked to Sophie in that conversation, and they tried to make it seem like she was kind of mad, but I don't think she ever was.
Agreed.
And she was just like, did you get closure? Like, you're good? Yeah, cool. Like, I think she's too chill to have an issue. Like, they just seem very good together through all of this. Like, I have no complaints about them meeting each other's people and nothing. Like,
we'll get into that boring conversation after this.
so then Kieran and him sit down, and he's like, well, what did you say to her? And this is what you said, and I wasn't with him at all. And at some point, Kieran's like, I also saw this.
Yeah, they had a weird argument about whether or not the photo booth had a curtain. Jovan said it didn't have a curtain.
And Meg is like, if there's a fucking curtain. And then Kieran was like, there was a curtain.
Yeah. The fucking stupidest thing to argue about.
And it was closed.
Yeah.
And it's because we don't have footage from that. So he can keep fucking complaining about it until he's blue in the face because no one can prove it was closed.
Maybe there's going to be a reunion and there is going to be a reunion. But maybe at the reunion, we'll get like some camera, cell phone footage or whatever of like, yeah, this is the photo booth. Or like they'll go to that bar and record the photo booth.
If only. But so anyways, he's basically yelling at Megan the whole time. And then that's why Kieran finally said, like, this is what I saw that as well. You were talking to them a lot, blah, blah, blah. And then he just keeps screaming at Megan, and then she finally gets up and says, I'm leaving. Fuck you, you prick. Have a good day. Like, have a good life. Like, I never want to see you again.
Yeah.
And then she cries.
Yeah, I feel bad. She cries on the balcony, and Kieran, like, finishes his telling Jovan, like, this is what I saw, and then he goes out to her. I feel a little bit like Kieran should have intervened a bit more, but it's hard. It's always hard. But you could always criticize after the fight, you know?
But he also might have, and we just didn't see a lot of it.
Yeah, true.
Like, that's the hard part. I'm sure that conversation was longer than the 2 minutes we saw it. For her to get that upset and that heated, to walk away like that, like, I'm sure it was more than we saw. But I don't like... and I'm fine with him staying to finish the conversation and like be like, this is what I did, whatever. And then Javin apologized for making Megan cry, but also it's too late.
Yeah, and you're apologizing to Kieran, not...
Yes, because he hates women.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't. He does not care about women.
Yes, he does. He clearly does not respect the women in this show at the very
Yes.
least.
So, yeah, he's a fucking asshole, and I hope we never have to see him again in the show.
But we will. Don't worry.
I don't know.
At least we'll see him at the reunion.
Oh, yeah, but we don't have to see him anymore on the show pretending that he gives a shit.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Okay, Megan and Kieran, we'll go through all of their life adventures.
Well, I gave you my opinion already.
They have a cute little moment where they go through each other's Instagrams.
Yep.
And like each other's stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty boring.
Yeah. Kieran made a fancy dinner for her, and he does admit that he doesn't like to cook for himself, but will for the both of them. And that's what every guy says who's single. He doesn't like to cook. He's lying.
Well, yeah, but the difference too is that most people don't like cooking for just themselves. Like, I like cooking, but I don't like it when it's just me. It's so much work to just feed me.
Craft dinner.
Okay, well, we're not all fucking mac and cheese freaks.
Craft dinner every night.
No.
Which is probably what he does too.
He goes to the gym. I doubt it.
Uh-huh.
I doubt he's a KD every night, man.
We see Kieran's apartment, which is a typical guy's apartment, and then he has like a gamer setup. I still don't know if he develops or just is a Twitch streamer. The setup didn't help me know either way, because it could be both.
He could also just like video games.
No, his job is video games.
No, I know, but he could also just like playing video games at home in general.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to determine if he's a developer or a streamer, okay? And I don't know which one it is. I could probably look it up on Twitch or something.
Probably could.
We meet Kieran's friends.
Mhm.
They have some drama because Kieran's friends, with all very unique haircuts, don't understand being on Love is Blind.
Yeah.
And they are very concerned for him.
Valid. It's not everyone's cup of tea.
Megan teaches Kieran how to like dance
Mhm.
at a dance studio. That was cute.
Wow, I feel like you're telling so much more about them than we did about anyone else, and nothing happened with them.
I know. Well, we'll try to go through everything.
That's really it.
Yeah.
Then all the drama.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
That's it. We did it.
Yay!
Yay. Okay. At this point, we're going to go through who we think is going to get together.
At this point, I said yes to everyone because I want to be hopeful and I want all of these couples to be in love.
So, Javin and Katisha, we're both like, no.
Well, yeah.
Kieran and Megan, we're both yes. Jen and Barta, both yes. Billy and Ashley, this is where I said no.
And this is me just being hopeful because I also think it's a no, but I want it to be a yes. So I'm manifesting that energy.
And then Sarah over and Cal, and I'm hoping for a yes.
So we're manifesting yeses for everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
I also I would like Billy and Ashley to figure it out.
Yeah, me too.
So I am manifesting also a yes, but
could be a no.
Could be a no. We did it.
Yay.
Yay.
See you
Tomorrow night.